metal-bound box. It's the story of the Duke of Zhou, brother of King Wu, who was the founder of the Zhou dynasty. When King Wu died of a serious illness, his son, King Cheng, was still just a child.
The Duke of Zhou acted as a regent for him for 7 years, but never attempted to take the throne himself. The story here, which begins while King Wu is still alive, shows the Duke's assumptions about the needs, desires, and powers of the ancestors.
Two years after he had conquered the Shang dynasty, King Wu became ill. The two ducal counselors advised making a reverent divination on behalf of the king. However, the Duke of Zhou said, "A reverent divination? No, we must not upset our ancestors." The Duke then took the burden upon himself. He constructed 4 altars on a single lot of cleared ground. Standing there, he arranged the jade disc and grasped the jade baton. Then he addressed his ancestors, King Tai, King Ji, and King Wen, whose name I dare not utter, has contracted a terrible and cruel illness. Heaven has made you 3 kings responsible for your distinguished son. Take me as a sacrifice for the king. I was kind and obedient to my father. I have many talents and skills, and can serve the ghosts and spirits. Your principal descendant is not as talented or skilled as I, nor can he serve the ghosts and spirits as well. Furthermore, he was given a mandate by the imperial ancestor to lend assistance to the 4 quarters, that he might firmly establish your sons and grandsons on the earth below. There are no people from the 4 quarters who do not stand in awe of him. Alas, do not let the precious mandate which heaven has conferred on him fail. With him, our royal ancestors will always have refuge. I now seek a decree from the Great Tortoise. If you grant my request, I shall take the jade disc and the baton and return to await your decree. He divined 3 tortoises, and they indicated good fortune. He placed the scribe's records in a metal-bound box. By the next day, the king had improved. Many moons later, after King Wu had died, the Duke fled east, for rumors had been spread that he was not benefiting the young king. There he remained for 2 years until the criminals were caught. He presented the young king with a poem called The Owl. King Cheng did not blame the Duke at all. In the autumn, when the grain was full and ripe, but not yet harvested, heaven sent down wind, accompanied by great thunder and lightning. The grain was completely flattened. Even great trees were uprooted. The citizens were very much afraid. King Cheng went to open the great writings in the metal-bound box. He discovered the burden that the Duke had taken on himself, how he had wished to substitute himself for King Wu. And heaven had stirred its awesome power to reveal the virtue of the Duke. Heaven sent down rain and wind from the opposite direction, so that all the grain stood up straight again, and the trees were replanted. And in that year there was a great harvest.